This is an SOS distress call from the mining ship Red Dwarf. The crew are dead, killed by a radiation leak. The only survivors are Dave Lister, who was in suspended animation during the disaster, and his pregnant cat, who was safely sealed in the hold. Revived 3 million years later, Lister's only companions are Arnold Rimmer, a hologram simulation of his dead bunkmate, a sanitation mechanoid called Crichton, and a life form who evolved from his cat. Additional, we recently received recordings that had passed through a dimensional rift in space, indicating that the exploits of the crew of Red Dwarf are, in another dimension, watched and beloved as a situation comedy by millions of fans who ride, cosplay, and even record podcasts about them. Still, takes all sorts, I suppose.
Many years ago, I had a dream about opening a club which would only open its doors between the months of October and April. A warm, welcoming place with roaring log fires and cozy nooks where you could sit with your friends and chat about things that interest you. Well, I couldn't even begin to afford to open a club, so the dream died. But its passing is commemorated by this podcast, presenting, for the winter months, a series of cozy chats with friends old and new on topics of interest. Welcome to the October Club. My guest tonight is writer and podcaster Barry Williams, who previously joined me to talk about The Lord of the Rings. But tonight we'll be discussing Red Dwarf, the science fiction sitcom that has spanned 12 series, 5 novels and a TV movie. We would like to warn listeners that this program contains instances of strong language, including, but not restricted to, smeg. Hi Baz, welcome back to the October Club.
Thank you.
Tonight we're going to talk about, well, today as we're recording, it's not tonight, it might be tonight when you're listening to it, but it's today when we're recording. Get to the point, Paul. We're going to be talking about Red Dwarf, the longest running, is it the longest running sci-fi sitcom? It doesn't have much competition really, to be honest.
It doesn't have a lot of competition, no, I'm sure it must be. Yeah, but struggling to think of another sci-fi sitcom.
Yeah, the only thing, if you count Futurama, they're probably on a par.
Yeah.
But nothing else, you know. You've got things that are possibly higher profile, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but that's really not because of the television series. That's because of the novels, you know, the television series.
I wouldn't class Hitchhikers as a sitcom.
No.
It's an ongoing story, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's nearly did 6 episodes. So.
Yeah, but Red Dwarf, 12 series and
12 series,
TV movie as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, were you there at the beginning of it? Did you watch the first series?
I remember it coming out in 1988. We were lucky in 88. We got 2 series. With series 1 in early 88 and then series 2 about 6 months later. And certainly for series 1, I was still at school, and I've got quite strong memories of seeing it then. Yeah.
88 was a strange kind of time. I was thinking about this because there was a kind of, the BBC had sort of hated sci-fi for ages, and then there was this funny little kind of blip where they suddenly were making it again, and they were kind of promoting Doctor Who again at the beginning of the McCoy era, and you had Star Cops, which only lasted 1 series, and Red Dwarf came out, and suddenly you think it was like, for anybody who's into sci-fi, you're thinking, oh, we're getting some sci-fi on television. But Red Dwarf was the only one of those that lasted within a couple of years.
Yeah.
The rest of them were all gone.
Red Dwarf kind of slipped in under the radar. It was commissioned by BBC Manchester. And apparently they tried to have a party at one point at the BBC, and they had to cancel it because the BBC wouldn't let Craig Charles and Danny John Jules in because they were a fire risk, supposedly.
Well, that's hot.
So that's one for the racism tracker. That's kind of, I
A
don't know
fire
what happened
risk.
there. A fire risk. Yeah. I guess there were smokers
Yeah.
at the time. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was kind of random.
Very strange.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
never felt like they fitted in.
Because I mean, the cast that we sort of know and love weren't kind of what they had in mind at first. Because I've heard that they were after Alfred Molina to
Yeah,
play Lister,
Alfred
I
Molina.
think, and
Yeah,
Alan Rickman.
yeah. Alfred Molina was signed on. He had his contract and everything. He
Oh
was ready to
right, I
go.
didn't realize it went that far.
Yeah, so I think he had struggled to interpret that.
Yes, yeah. I don't think it would have lasted as long with that cast because they'd have just been
No,
unaffordable within about
you
five
know,
years of that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have, maybe two series out if we were lucky. That would have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But then I mean, you get this very quite strange cast, really,
Mm,
because you've got Craig Charles, who was a poet,
mm,
um, Chris Barry, who was essentially an impressionist. He did voices for
yeah.
Spitting Image, and Danny John Jones was a dancer. So none of them were actors or comedians as such.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I think the only one of them who would really you could consider anything close to being a household name at the time was probably Craig Charles, because he used to appear on Wogan and things, doing his sort of very sort of urban poetry, didn't he?
He was a punk poet, wasn't he? Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
definitely seen him on something. He'd probably turned up in Blue Peter or something. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely I recognized him. I'd seen him around doing stuff.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So I mean, series one has this. It has very sort of different. Well, series one and two have a very different feeling to the rest of it, don't they? Because
yeah. I mean, series one is it's a curious thing, isn't it? I mean, the first few minutes of episode one just don't work, where they're
no,
in that corridor and they're
no,
just arguing about cleaning the gunk out of the catering machines. And there's something about it. The atmosphere just it's very odd. I remember watching it at the time and going, what's going on here?
yeah,
And then you get another weird scene in the canteen with that guy that's been turned into a hologram.
yeah,
And again, it just doesn't quite work. And it's only really after everyone's dead,
yeah,
and it's 3 million years later, and you get the scene with Holly going, "They're all dead, Dave,"
yeah,
which is really funny. And
yeah,
then, so you're about halfway through the episode at that point, and that's the point when suddenly everything clicks into place. So it's a bit of a hard sell.
yeah.
Um,
I think with those
that
early
opening scene.
scenes, like you're saying that scene where they're in the corridor, to me it reads very much like a radio script. I know that Rob Grant and Doug
Mhm.
Naylor were from a radio background, and that feels very radio. You could
Yeah,
imagine that because there's not much going on. It's just the
no,
dialogue, you know.
yeah. There's no
Um,
music to it. It's just sort of lacking in atmosphere, and it's just in a cheap BBC set. So it's a weird one. Yeah.
yeah,
But they did do, didn't they? They did Son of Cliche before that.
yeah, yeah.
Had a sketch in it about Dave Hollins, Space Cadet, which I've never heard.
No, I haven't either. So I
No.
have to try and find a link to it to go with this. With this.
Apparently, Dave Hollins is a prototype of Dave Lister, and he's stuck in the future with this computer called Cab,
Yeah.
who's played by Chris Barry. No,
All right.
yeah. But I've never listened to, so I can't say any more about it.
Yeah. So Chris Barry probably got the part. He's probably one of those cases, a bit like sort of Harrison Ford in Star Wars, where they kind of didn't
Yeah.
really sort of want him, but he was somebody they knew, and eventually they're like, oh, we'll just use him. He's quite good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, they must have created Rimmer and the Cat, the TV version, and then, yeah, I don't know how they go.
Yeah,
I mean, he's very good in it. He's superb in that first new series, at least.
yeah.
It's
They're not.
really reliable.
Yeah, they're not kind of really fully formed in that first series, are they, as characters? Any of them? It
Uh,
does take like a couple of series for them to really become, the characters we know. So
yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Doug Naylor and Bob Clark. They call it character-based comedy, but I'm not sure they're terribly good at writing characters, really.
yeah,
Kind of the archetypes, aren't they? It took a while for it to fall into place. I do know that they changed a lot of stuff around in that first series.
all right,
Future Echoes was originally going to be episode 5,
yeah,
and then episode 6 was going to be Confidence and Paranoia,
Yeah.
and that was going to end on the cliffhanger, season end cliffhanger as the second Rimmer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and the original episode 2 was apparently just one of Lister moping around the ship, kind
Yeah.
of really depressed that everyone's dead.
Yeah. I mean, Future Echoes is a strange one to have as the second episode because it's like
Doesn't work where it is.
it's
No.
just jumping in at the deep end, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they
Um,
thought, oh, this was really good. We'll bring it forward. That's the only reason.
yeah. It's all the first series, but to be honest, I prefer it to the second series because I think the second series, the scripts are very good, but I think it's kind of overreaching the boundaries of its special effects a lot. And there are bits in the second series where you think, "Ooh, this isn't really kind of working. You should have toned this down a bit because you really don't have the money to achieve these special effects."
The more I've watched it, the more I've come to appreciate series one. I think it's got some of the best scripts, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, all stuff with the garbage pod. Quagars! Two A's.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
that's some of the best character work, actually.
yeah,
It's just really good.
yeah.
It's really sharp.
It's very strong for Norman Lovett as well as Holly, who we
Yeah.
didn't mention earlier on. But yeah,
Yeah.
Norman Lovett. And I've often wondered how much of that is the script and how much of it is Norman Lovett because it does
I think
it
his part
feels a
must have
lot like
built
his
up.
comedy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Wasn't he originally just a voice and then they screen because he's funny?
yeah.
So a lot of those scenes in series one with Holly, they've inserted his face later on.
All right, I
Uh,
didn't know that.
I haven't researched it, folks, but I've got a vague feeling it's yeah, it's
Kind
going
of
on
makes
there.
sense because I mean he's got a funny face. Apologies, Norman Lovett, if you're listening
Yes,
to this, but yeah, he's got a face made for comedy.
yeah.
Danny John Jules was I saw him recently at the Sci-Fi Scarborough convention,
Oh wow.
and he was saying there that Cat originally was supposed to be dressed almost like a kind of like a Blues Brothers type outfit, sort of black suit and tie, sort of
Okay.
skinny tie and a pork pie hat, and it was him that said, "No, this doesn't
I read
work. You know, you need to, yeah."
I read somewhere that he turned up for the audition in his dad's zoot suit from the
Yeah,
1950s.
yeah, 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 because that was it. Because I don't know if he wasn't saying that that pink suit that he wears at the
Uh,
beginning is his dad's zoot suit, the actual
oh right.
suit, because he was going,
Wow.
this Blues Brothers thing doesn't work. What you need is something like this, and they kind of they went with it.
The cat's really good in that first series as well. He's just
Yeah,
genuinely
yeah,
cat-like. And I know the others complain because they'd have a long scene with dialogue and then he'd come in and get the woofer at the end. You know, it's a
yeah,
great part to play. I mean, yeah, it must have been fantastic.
yeah. Yeah, I think the Waiting for God, the episode where which is about the cats,
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily work. I think that's one of the weaker episodes of series one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but again, it's kind of it's doing a bit of world building. I love Noel Coleman turns up at the end,
Yeah, yeah,
and he is so good and affecting. And I mean, that's actually a moment in some ways that's genuinely moving when you know that cat priest
yeah,
dies at the end there, and he thinks that his religion doesn't mean anything. You know,
yeah,
yeah, I've got a real fondness for it, and all of those episodes really. I think there's some of the best stuff really in there. Yeah, it's great and so funny. You know,
yeah.
really
Well,
well written dialogue.
that's the
Yeah,
thing about it. I mean, that's the reason it survives. Really, is that it is genuinely funny. I think if it was kind of the particularly in kind of later series, kind of trod a fine line between the sci-fi and the
mm.
comedy, but always kind of erring on the side of the comedy. And it was totally the right thing to do because I think
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they'd
yeah.
gone down making it more sci-fi, the BBC would
Oh
have
yeah.
cancelled them in an instant.
And they're not interested in a lot of that sci-fi stuff. They're not interested in the continuity, really.
No,
Even during season one, the continuity is really dodgy.
yeah,
You can't make sense of Lister and Rimmer's stories about how long they've known each other. None of that works or
Yeah.
matches up, you know.
No.
But yeah, no, it's genuinely funny and entertaining, and that's the main thing, really.
Yeah. Doesn't Lister famously have his appendix removed twice? He mentions having his
Yeah, I think
appendix
so.
removed and then has it removed in an actual episode.
Yeah, sorry.
So
But I mean, they
continuity.
clearly just
Yeah.
they don't give a shit when it comes to that. I mean, which is fine. That's fair enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that first series is, I think that's Red Dwarf at its purest, when it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the ship alone in an empty universe,
Yeah.
um, trying to get by. And of course, that universe becomes increasingly crowded over the
Yes.
next 11 series. You know,
Yeah. I'm not
uh,
I'm not sure you could have done all those series with it in that style. I think it would
no,
have.
no, I don't think you
Yeah.
could. No, I mean, I absolutely understand the reasoning behind it.
Oh yeah, because I mean, because this I think they've said in interviews they were trying to do something like Steptoe and Son, where it's two people
mm,
who really don't get along, sort of trapped in an environment, and that's what it is. But you couldn't string that out to all those series, I don't think.
no, that's it. I mean, even Steptoe Son could go down the street.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, in season two as well, you get the introduction of Crichton, but not the Crichton that we are familiar with.
Oh,
It's
that, right.
Robert Ross.
Ross, yeah, he's very good in his own way. It's very,
Yeah,
very different crime. I mean, his costume's not, but
no, no,
he's it's no surprise that there was a popular character because
yeah.
he immediately fits in, and it's a disappointment when he leaves at the end of the episode. You kind of,
Yeah. Because he plays him as a sort of very sort of English butler, doesn't he? And then
yeah,
when he
yeah,
comes back, he's got this
he's sort of Canadian, isn't he?
Canadian. I want to say
Yeah,
Canadian. It's an odd sort of
supposedly.
accent.
Well, that's what Robert Llewellyn says. But supposedly Canadian.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I mean, so we'll move on to series three. That's when Robert Llewellyn comes in, when Crichton comes back, and it's Robert Llewellyn.
yeah.
It's not really. They don't go big on introductions as well
No,
on this kind of thing. So he's just
no.
kind of there's a scroll, isn't there? There's a
There
fast
is a massive
scroll,
scroll. Yeah, and then you go
um,
straight backwards.
which goes too
Uh,
fast to read, and then you're just in
it's
there.
a
But
great, yeah, it's a great, yeah. Fuck you, is the audience, isn't it? After finishing series two on a
yeah,
on a cliffhanger, and once again, when you read about some of the behind the scenes stories, apparently they did try and write an episode where Lister's pregnant.
mm,
Um, it wasn't working, so they binned it. But,
yeah,
again, probably the right decision because they don't write women well.
no,
And they don't write. I can imagine them really fucking up a pregnancy story.
yes, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big season three is a big change because
Mm.
I mean, for starters, it's got more money on it, definitely, because it definitely looks a bit
Yeah.
more stylish than the first couple of series.
They've rejigged the
Um,
sets. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then you've got Crichton coming in, and also Holly changing to Hattie Hayridge,
Mm.
who was Hilly in the end of the second series. It's very
Mhm.
complicated. Slow that
Mhm.
scroll down and read that, because we can't explain it to you. But yeah, I like series three. It kind of
Mm.
stands alone in a bit because it's not like the first two, and it's also not like the ones that follow it. It's kind of
Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of halfway house, isn't it?
yeah,
You get Maroon, which is a typical Lister Rimmer kind of two piece, isn't it? Where they kind of
yeah,
really
yeah,
go deep into that relationship, and then other episodes seem to kind of forget that even happened,
yes,
and the relationship's just who cares,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you go backwards as well, which is sort of
Mm.
about the first, well, possibly the first kind of instance of them kind of having an idea and basically really hammering the idea because it's kind
Yeah.
of um it's kind of one joke repeated again and again and again, but it actually works. I mean, it's really really funny, but I mean it is just the same joke again and again.
Yeah. It was taken from, I think, I do remember the scientific theories were current at the time, the idea that maybe the universe would start contracting and time would run backwards,
Yeah.
um, which they milk for every gag they can. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You watch the
No,
thing, it
no.
doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So,
They were just having a laugh with it though, because isn't there? There's
yeah.
that bit with Tony Hawk where he's kind of saying something
Mm,
backwards, and I think it's on one of the Smeg Up tapes.
yeah.
They reverse it, and he's actually going, "Yeah, I'm talking to you, the sad git who's recorded this and is playing it backwards."
That's right. Yeah. It's not Tony Hawk's,
Is
it's
it
the other
not?
one. I forget his name now. He plays
Oh,
the owner of the bar.
yes, I know who you mean, and I can't think of his name either. Arthur
But
Smith.
Arthur Smith. Yeah.
Yeah,
A very funny man.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, great bit of improvisation on his
I
part.
don't know why I thought it was Tony Hawk's. Maybe because
Tony
Tony
Hawk's
Hawk's
is
is.
he's in loads of them though, in those
Yeah,
first
he
three
is. He's
series, isn't he?
always
He's
cropping up as a voice
popping up,
or
yeah,
as some kind of
yeah,
character on a screen or something.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
all over the place, yeah. So when Ruby Wax turns up as well, it's kind of surprising. You're like, oh, it's Ruby Wax. It's kind of,
yeah,
you don't really think of her as acting in things anymore, but there she is.
yeah. I mean, it is kind of amazing the actors who sort of turn up in it when you look back at
Yeah,
it, and you kind of,
some big names. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
possibly. Well, I, I'm tempted to say it possibly weren't at the time, but I think a lot of them already were at the time. And
Some of them were,
it's like
yeah.
when you see Brian Cox in an episode and you think, fucking Brian Cox, he was already like a movie star by this point. How did they get him in this?
Perhaps he was just a fan. And it does have famous fans.
Yeah,
Do you remember that they did a Red Dwarf night where Patrick Stewart was presenting Red Dwarf night on BBC Two because
yeah,
he's a fan. It was like,
yeah,
yeah, just thinks it's great. So,
yeah,
all right, thank you, Patrick Stewart. Thank you for your service. Fine.
yeah. Series 3 has Polymorph as well, which is,
Hmm.
I think that's probably the most kind of, the furthest they try to push the special effects at that point. It kind of works. I mean,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
most
yeah.
part, yeah.
That's the one that really points the way for the future, isn't it? Where they're running around the hole with
Yeah,
bazookoids
yeah,
chasing the thing, and
yeah.
it's kind of. I remember at the time being, "Oh, I'm not sure about this. I hope they don't go in this direction too much," and of course they did. Because I was a purist.
I mean, it's kind of it's referencing aliens, which
Aliens, yeah,
everything was at that time.
yeah,
Literally, you
yeah,
watch any science fiction thing, read any book at that
yeah.
time, they're all referencing aliens.
They
It
are.
was
This is the funniest one.
yes, yeah. This can get away with it because they're kind of taking the piss a bit, well,
Yeah,
a lot.
it
Um,
is. It's probably one of the funniest episodes they did as well. But that
yeah,
scene where uh, the polymorph turns into Lister's pants, and still funny. I think even the sixth time I watched it, probably still really funny.
yeah,
You know, um, less so
yeah,
now, and about the 20th time. But yeah, that's
yeah. You've
we
got to
still got it.
hand it to them, really. That kind of they released all those Smeg Up cassettes, which have all the outtakes on, but it's very rarely them cracking up.
Yeah,
They they're all really good at not cracking up in the most kind of hilarious situations.
yeah, they're quite professional, really. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I imagine making it in front of a live audience like that, you've got the adrenaline going. You're like, right, no, let's get this done.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it as well, is unusually for a kind of you wouldn't really expect a sci-fi sitcom to be recorded in that traditional sitcom manner of being in front of a live audience because it does
yeah, it's
present a
odd,
lot of
isn't it?
problems.
Yeah, and they've occasionally moved away from it, but they always come back again.
Yeah, yeah,
It just creates that atmosphere. I think for the type of show, it has to be done live. I think you get the feedback from the audience,
yeah,
uh, and there's a lot of scenes, isn't there, where you can see them kind of stop,
yeah,
wait, because the audience is just laughing and laughing. They're like,
yeah.
and then they carry on. It's hard to time that otherwise.
These first three series as well. were sort of remastered in 1997, weren't they?
Mm,
And I don't know what you think. I don't like them. I don't know what
no,
you think, but
I can't
I'm
stand
not a fan of those.
it. And I think, I mean, I haven't watched it for a long time. I suspect those remastered versions probably dated.
Yeah, I mean the ones that are on iPlayer and the ones that were released on DVD and so on are the originals. I've never
Yeah.
seen those remastered ones. They certainly didn't replace the originals because
No,
apart from that one time that maybe a couple of times they were shown on BBC Two, I'd never seen anything of them
no.
since.
It's
Yeah,
not like Star Wars where they say, "Right, this is the new version, like it or lump
yeah, yeah,
it." People went, "No," and yeah,
yeah,
we've gone back to the originals. So,
yeah. So we'll move on to series four, and I mean this is
mm,
where it kind of becomes the very
yeah,
style, the style of Red Dwarf that everybody recognizes. Really, it's kind of reached
there were,
its maturity.
yeah, there was a long gap, I think, between series three and four. I think it's just over a year.
Yeah,
And in that time, I do know they released the first novel.
yeah.
So if you watch them in series four, the characters are now referring to the continuity from the novel. Yeah, it's a strong choice.
I mean, the novels were the novels were really good. I mean, especially those the first couple there. But
say before they fell out.
it moved as well, didn't it, from BBC Manchester to Shepperton at this
Mm,
point as well. So they were,
yeah,
which I think it was at for the rest of its run.
yeah.
Well,
I
until
mean,
the Dave ones.
yeah. It's odd, isn't it? Because some of the sets are quite good. But then I still remember that one DNA where
Yeah,
they're literally running through the alien spaceship and you can
yeah,
see the studio lights above them,
yes.
which they've just left in shot. And
They're
you're
just
like,
spaceship
okay.
lights.
So yeah, it's odd series in many ways.
Yeah. This is where you start to get the kind of extended continuity coming in as well, don't you? Because
Mm.
Ace Rimmer crops up in this one in
Yes.
Dimension Jump.
It's a
Um,
really good series, actually, series four. That Ace Rimmer
yeah,
episode's really good.
yeah,
Yeah, they expand Crichton's character really nicely in Camille.
yeah.
Um, the one with the justice
Justice,
field,
yeah, yeah,
that's a really good idea. Really
yeah.
strong.
I think it's one of the stronger series. I think it's better
Yeah.
than the one that follows it. I don't think.
It's quite funny, still quite funny. The white
Yeah,
hole scene as well.
yeah,
So what is it? I still quote that daily. Um,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if they just
So,
got their kind of just hit their stride in terms of confidence with kind of like say having done the novel and thinking, all right, we know what level this is on now after kind of
yeah,
basically 3 years of kind of spitballing it, not really knowing what kind of where they were going with it. So
yeah. It's an odd one, isn't it? They've expanded the characters with the novel.
yeah,
Ace Rimmer's so good that episode.
yeah,
Particularly his dodgy wig. Apparently Chris Barry was turning up on set in his dodgy wig, and girls on the production team were kind of giving him the eye a little bit.
he's such a sort of pastiche of characters that were all over the place at that time, though, wasn't it? In the kind of late
Mm,
80s, early 90s, so the kind of
yeah,
it's a very sort of slightly arrogant leading man, yeah.
I
Um,
mean, and it's what you know, Rob Grant and Doug Naylor kind of do best, isn't it? It's kind of parody the kind of
yeah,
the sci-fi cliches. They'll
yeah,
find something there, and they'll turn it into something ridiculous. And
yeah.
Ace Rimmer is ridiculous. He's stupid. He doesn't make any sense,
Oh, yeah.
but he's really funny. You know.
Yeah. And in the next, I mean, in series five, you've got Dwayne Dibley comes in as well.
Yeah. Again, a sort of a breakout character, isn't he?
Yeah,
Which I don't think they saw coming. I think it's just something. It just worked on the day,
yeah, yeah.
and it's
It does.
so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem to be this thing that, I mean, because they both appear quite a lot.
Mm.
Um, Possibly too much, maybe not.
I think
In
maybe too much. Yeah,
in later stories, but it does
yeah.
seem to be like you say that basically the fans really liked Dwayne Dibley and they really liked Ace Rimmer, and so they kind of were a bit, oh, we'll bring them back.
We'll bring him back. Yeah,
Yeah,
it seems to be with diminishing returns, particularly with Dwayne Dibley. It's never as funny again.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I can't really say exactly why.
Yes,
I think it's just maybe it's just the increasing desperation with which they get him into things.
yes,
I'm not buying this.
yeah,
I mean, in
yeah,
that one, he's organic to the story, and it's a great episode. Again, it's a really,
yeah,
really strong
yeah.
sci-fi episode. Yeah,
Like I say, it's season five. I think of those of kind of the series in its pomp is probably one of the weaker series. I don't think it's
it's certainly the least funny. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. It's odd, isn't it? I remember
yeah,
really liking it at the time because it's quite good sci-fi. There's some good
yeah,
sci-fi in
yeah.
them. It's interesting, isn't it? How many episodes of Star Trek
Yes.
they've got really good sci-fi concepts in them that you watch now and you go, "Well, Red Dwarf did that first and better."
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Um, but yeah, it's definitely not as funny. The character work isn't as deft.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's hard to pin down exactly.
I
Yeah.
think they were struggling with ideas. I think
Yeah.
it's difficult to keep doing it. They've done 5 series in 5 years at that point, and it's hard to carry on. And you see that again in series 6,
Yeah.
where they go
Yeah.
completely the other way, and it's kind of I think they wrote series 6 in a hurry,
Yeah.
and you can kind of tell that they're first drafts, and there's a lot of gags that get repeated
Yeah. Yeah.
episode after episode after episode to the point where you're like, oh god, just stop now.
And they're almost openly admitting that Emo Hawk is basically just a
Yeah,
they sing it's a
just a
sequel
retread.
to Polymorph.
Yeah,
it's a remake of
yeah,
Polymorph, really.
they're doing it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they struggled to come up with ideas, and I think with the BBC would kind of renew them at the last minute, and then they'd have to write all the scripts
Yeah.
in about a month or something like that. It was never
Yeah.
any run up.
Yeah.
So yeah, difficult.
Yeah. Season six has Gunmen of the Apocalypse as well, which is
Yes.
a really good episode. Although
Yeah.
a lot of the episodes in that are not so great. That I mean, that is a classic
That's
episode.
that's a classic. Yeah, I mean, series 6 is probably not as quite as bad as I painted it, but
Yeah.
but certainly that one's a really good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I do quite like the fact now. I mean, I didn't at the time, but I quite like the fact that they're in Starbuck and they got a direction to go in. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of quest to it. It gives it a little drive, which kind of works quite well. And that one in particular, yeah, with Dennis Lill in it, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it won an award, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Dennis
it's,
Lill is
it's
just a dead ringer for Lee Van Cleef. When he
yeah,
puts the little mustache on, it's uncanny.
yeah. And he's great in everything he does, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Western town, you can kind of see it's in England. It doesn't
Yes.
look very,
You can tell it's just that one street.
yeah, yeah. It's a bit sort of misty and a bit cold looking, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's days like that in America. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also in that series, I think Out of Time is really good, but
Hmm.
it's kind of
Is
slightly
that,
left down by the fact that it ends on that cliffhanger, which
yeah, is that the last one? Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I quite like that. Apparently, it came about more or less by chance that in the previous episode, they kind of jump forward to the future and they say, "Where's Lister?" And they
yeah,
go, "Oh, you won't believe what terrible things happened to Lister." And then Lister's like, "What?" And they leave. And
yeah,
apparently, they shot Lister walking in, going, "Well, I miss guys," and they're like, "Nothing."
yeah,
But they cut that bit off, so it's left on. You don't know what happens to Lister in the future. And then
yeah,
I think they had to write the last episode in like a day or something. They had to
yeah,
really kind of cram it in. Unfortunately, that ends up tying in. Um,
yeah,
I, yeah, I think it's great.
yeah,
Um, I like the heroic role that they give Rimmer in the last 2 minutes, and it's like redeems him a little bit. And
Yes.
I can see why that they just ended on, yeah, the ship blows up and that's it.
Yeah.
Um, but again, I don't think that's what they shot. I think they actually finished it.
Yeah.
And then in editing, they thought, you know what, we'll leave this in a cliffhanger and we'll say to be continued. And then, of course,
Yeah.
we didn't get another series for
Yeah.
4 years.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that alternate ending. I have seen it somewhere. I don't know if it's on one of the DVDs or something.
Yeah.
Definitely seen because it cuts to a bit of them
They
all
drink the wine,
together.
don't they?
Yeah.
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 And they've got the urine moustaches or whatever they are.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Perhaps
Yeah.
they
I
thought
have.
that was a week ending. I don't know. Yeah.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout à la crème. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout à la crème. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout à la crème. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout à la crème. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout à la crème. Enjoy your meal.
Fish!
Today's fish is trout à la crème. Enjoy your meal.
I will.
So, it's after sort of however many years, 5 years, 6 years of
It
sort of
wasn't as long as
almost,
that. It's about 4 years. It was, yeah.
yeah, of almost sort of more or less a season a year, sometimes
Mm,
2 seasons a year, as you were saying. Um,
yeah.
you get this substantial gap of 4 years, and
And I
it's
do remember that feeling you because the BBC would never say anything. So
yeah,
every time I watched a series, I finished series two and I think that's probably it.
yeah,
And then it'd come back, I'll be slightly surprised. And then I finished series three and I think that's probably it now.
yeah,
And then just over a year down the line, you get series four, you
yeah,
know. But yeah, this was a big one, wasn't it? You finish
yeah,
series six, oh, cliffhanger, right, okay. And then nothing. It's like
yeah,
Blake Seven for a while, wasn't it? It was like,
yeah. And it was all changed. I mean, obviously, behind the scenes, it was all changed because Rob Grant had decided he
mm.
didn't want to do any more.
Yeah,
But
they had a massive falling out,
yeah,
which to this day I don't think anybody really knows what the cause of it was. But yeah, they had huge shouting matches and stuff, and then Rob Grant walked away.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it.
No, it's a shame. But I mean, at least he kind of, I mean, at least he had the good grace to kind of say, you can carry on with it if you want.
Yeah,
Because he could easily have said, no, nobody's ever going to do anything else with it because I own half of it, sort of thing. But
yeah, and I
um,
don't quite know what he did after. I mean, he wrote a couple of novels, but it almost ended his career, really, didn't it?
yeah,
So it's
it's
very
a bit,
strange. I don't quite
yeah.
know what's going on there. Yeah,
It's all changing this as well because kind of Chris Barry can only do part of the season, so
mm,
he disappears for a big chunk of it. They bring in
yeah,
Chloe Annette as
yeah,
Kachansky,
yeah.
which I mean she's
Doesn't
great,
work.
but do you think it works at all?
Not at all. No, those
Yeah,
episodes without Rimmer, it's painfully clear that it just doesn't work without him. And
yeah,
Chloe Annette, bless her, she's doing the best she can.
yeah,
But that's a very thin character. It's very poorly written.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they don't write well for women. They've
No,
kind of they've hit every posh bird cliche they can think of, and she's
yes,
trying to make it work.
yeah,
And yeah, and she's very gifted. She does what she can with the
yeah,
material she's got, but yeah, it just doesn't work. Uh,
yeah,
and you get those first two episodes, don't you? With the Ticket to Ride, and then the one where Rimmer leaves. Both
yeah,
of them, I think, are really good. They can stand up next to any episode of Red Dwarf.
yeah,
And then once Rimmer's out of the picture, you get a Ouroboros, where it turns out Lister's
yeah.
his own dad, which I never liked. It's just
No,
makes no sense.
that's just weird.
Um,
Yeah.
and then duck soup, which just it just hanging
That's
around.
the Yeah, I've always felt the
Uh,
duck soup was them trying to go, well, this is the
yeah,
relationship
this is the new group. Yeah,
between her and them. But all it does is prove that there isn't really a relationship between
it
her and
proves that
them.
it doesn't work. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the antagonist becomes Crichton in a weird way because
yeah,
Rimmer's not there anymore. You need someone to do it.
yeah,
We got all this strange stuff with Crichton just not liking her, and yeah, That's
Yeah.
good.
No. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out when you pull Rimmer out of the mix that the characters actually aren't well rounded. You can't really fit them into a different set of pegs.
Yeah.
It doesn't hang together at all. Yeah,
Yeah. This was the series as well that they didn't shoot in front of a studio audience at
yeah,
all. Um,
yeah,
and that shows as well because
yeah.
the pauses that they leave for people laughing because they did put a laugh track on it just are either too
Weird.
long or too short. They
Yeah,
don't fit.
yeah.
Chloe Annette,
Uh,
I don't think had done sitcom before, so she's not
mhm,
quite leaving the right pauses for the laugh.
yeah.
She's not used to it, which is not again not her fault. It's
Right.
just the nature in which it was being done.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
It's all over the place. Yeah.
it was
Uh,
a bad choice, a lot of bad choices, I think, in that series.
yeah. And without Will Grant, the like Naylor's obviously trying to do the writing on his own. He's got a few people helping him, but none of them quite measure up to what he needs, I think.
No,
So the scripting's a bit uneven as well.
yeah, yeah.
That's that
Is
one that
it?
Robert Llewellyn wrote, where
Yeah,
they kind
that's
of
what I was going to say. Is
the
it
big
Robert?
gag is they blow up a pavilion at the end full of 19th century ladies. It's not very funny. It's kind of just like, all right,
Yeah,
fine. Brian
yeah.
hates women. All right, move on.
I don't know if you saw any of them, but for this series as well, they released a VHS release of Red Dwarf Extended, and it was kind of extended versions of about
Yeah,
3 episodes,
yeah,
which didn't have the laughter track on,
yeah,
and they're so hard to watch. They're just like really, it's really stale without the laughter track.
yeah.
I
I think they're on
found,
the DVD. I have got them. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's a bit grim. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It kind of doesn't work. It's nice to see extended episodes, but when you see them
mm,
without the laughter track, you think, yeah, I kind of see why they put a laughter track back on it, even though they weren't in front
yeah.
of a studio audience.
There's a whole extra scene, isn't there, where isn't Lister in the wrong part of the spaceship and they kind of split off and then he
Yeah,
gets left behind, and it's quite a big section, which is
yeah,
just in the extended one.
yeah.
Again, some very strange choices. I don't quite.
It's
Yeah,
weird. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't think they were intending to do the extended releases before they'd started filming it. So you've only got these overruns because it's not being done in front of a studio audience and has to
the
be
timing's
a
wrong.
tight
Yeah,
30 minutes,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
bad choice.
Maybe, yeah, a lack of rehearsal, a lack of experience of making it that way. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. And that this ends on a cliffhanger ending as well.
yeah,
They don't learn with these cliffhanger
yeah.
endings, do they? They don't learn from experience.
I think they
Um,
had agreement from the BBC that there was going to be a Series 8, so I think I'll give them on this. But yeah,
yeah,
um, they find the dwarf anyway, so we put that story back. It's
yeah,
kind of, yeah,
yeah,
they're back. Yeah.
yeah. So is there another 2 year gap? Not as bad
Mm.
as the previous one, but a
Mhm.
2 year gap until the next series. And speaking of poor choices,
Series 8. Oh, God. It's so bad. It really is. It's terrible. It's
yeah.
so terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, they go back to this idea of having all the crew of Red Dwarf alive,
Yeah.
which instantly strips away pretty much everything that was the kind
Hmm.
of core,
Yeah.
idea of the
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then they're locked up in prison, and
yeah. I mean, as a way of getting Rimmer back, I suppose it's quite good, but that's the only thing you can say for it. Oh dear. Yeah, it just doesn't work. And
no,
the only episode in that series which is halfway decent is Cassandra,
yeah,
which is the one where they find an excuse to kind of go off the ship and, battle a mad computer.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was right. But again, just the sheer sexism and the misogyny and a lot of there's a lot of very dirty jokes in this one, and
yeah.
Rimmer running around with an erection and kind of
Yes.
trying to bed ladies. And I mean, my son is a huge fan of Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
We've never shown him that episode Crikey TV
Yeah.
where Crichton loses his morality chip and puts a camera in the women's showers.
Yeah.
Um, and gets Rimmer and Lister a bit hot under the collar for a while. And it's just awful, really, isn't it? It's
It's
just
quite 90s, isn't it? I mean, the 90s, there was a lot
yeah,
of this kind of lad culture stuff, the lads
I
mags and
guess
all
so.
that, and it kind of plays into that sort of thing, and kind of
Yeah,
you could say it's lampooning it, but it's
it's not.
not really. That's not really the right way to lampoon it by actually showing it, you know.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's uncomfortable viewing series right now. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you have this two-parter as well, don't you, which kind of feels really dragged out
yeah,
about the
yeah,
dinosaur and so on. A lot of that seems to be like, oh, we realize we can do these special effects, so we'll build an entire two-parter around what we can do with the special effects. But
yeah,
should we have some gags in there? Yeah, maybe not.
yeah. Yeah. I can remind myself again. They have a basketball game, and the blokes have all got bonus because they've all taken Prozac away. That's the
Something
kind
like
of
that.
that's the level of humor we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I watched Red Dwarf right through about a year and a half ago or something.
Mm,
Um, and I had forgotten how bad this series was. I kind of,
yeah.
in my mind, I'd kind of thought that kind of seven was the really bad one, but
Mm,
seven looks great compared to eight.
yeah, yeah. I mean, something like Shakespeare compared to eight. Yeah, it's really sophisticated.
It's
Um,
really, really, really bad, and I can understand why the BBC kind of said, "Yeah, that's enough" at that point.
yeah, yeah. They went back to them, didn't they, to the BBC to say, "Can we do Series 9 now?" And the BBC basically went, "We're doing other stuff, thanks."
Yeah, yeah. So then you get, I mean, the biggest gap in all of it in the history, well, until probably recently, but you got a 10-year gap before there's
As it is,
anything
yeah,
else. And I
yeah.
think everyone probably just assumed that was
Again,
it.
as usual, you think, "Oh, that's probably it then," and they've
Yeah,
ended on a cliffhanger. And yeah, it was 10 years. I don't think I expected Red Dwarf to come back in any shape or form.
yeah, yeah.
Certainly not after 10 years.
But then what happened is Dave, which is a kind of
Yeah.
sort of digital channel,
Mhm.
um, they did Back to Earth, which is kind of three originally in its original form was a three-part
Yeah.
um, sort of
I mean, Dave
story.
shows all these repeats, doesn't it? All these repeats on
Yeah,
various old
yeah,
BBC comedies and stuff. And I think Red Dwarf must have been doing quite well for them.
yeah. They were wanting
So
to. I think they were wanting to do more new stuff, and there
yeah,
were kind of various other things that they'd done.
yeah,
Which I can't remember any of at the time because I didn't watch a lot of Dave. But Red Dwarf is probably the most high profile one
yeah.
that they did.
I come back to Earth, which has been criticised. I don't think it's hugely popular, but it's actually a massive step up after Series 8.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
of course, Craig Charles at that point had been doing a lot of Corrie.
yeah,
And you can see his acting skills have come on a long
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Give him a very dramatic speech to Kaczynski's grave where he has to cry and all that, and he can just do it,
yeah.
which, he wasn't able to do in his 20s. It's
Yes.
so much of a step forward for him. It's another one, isn't it, where they kind of just come back and they don't explain anything.
No.
Uh, I think we've heard since that this Rimmer is the original Rimmer that
Yeah.
stopped being Ace Rimmer and came back again. That's just something that Doug Naylor said in the interview. But I mean, there's nothing in the program to tell you that.
If
It's
you
like,
think of
oh,
kind of if you think of reboots, you've got kind of soft reboots and hard reboots and Red Dwarf reboots, which is basically just it's the same universe. But it's all kind of gone back to the way it was, but we're not going to
yeah,
explain any of it.
yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah, it's not even a scroll on this one. It's just like 9 years later. There you go. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Back to Earth is very meta as well, isn't it? Because you have this
Yeah.
thing of them being in a like the real universe where Red Dwarf was a television program, and
It's a very odd plot, isn't it? Yeah, they're in the real universe where Red Dwarf had like series 9 and 10, and they're looking at DVDs of themselves, which are the actual DVDs that you can buy.
yes,
Um, and then it all turns into Blade Runner at the end. You're like,
yeah,
what?
I have to say that's. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's very watchable, but the
Oh yeah,
Blade Runner bits are the bits where I kind of lose it a bit because I just think, did you just did you just run out of plot here and thought we'll just kind of stick some bits of Blade Runner in it?
yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah. Where does Doug Naylor get his ideas from? Does he get any ideas? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not one.
yeah, yeah.
It was nice to see him again after 10 years. I quite enjoy it. I watched it again and was quite pleasantly surprised. And it's
So I
another one
th
that's done without the studio, isn't it? It hasn't got an
yeah,
after track.
yeah.
It's very nice.
Well, a lot of that is on location, I think, with it
Well,
obviously
that's true.
being back on
It's
Earth.
cl-
So.
it's clearly cheap, you know.
Yes, including Coronation Street, which
Yes.
which I mean anybody who's not in England probably wouldn't appreciate at the time. But Craig Charles was at that time in Coronation Street playing this
Yeah,
character, and it's
yeah.
a thing.
This is oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. I mean, I didn't. I remember watching that, and I didn't think they'd do any more after that. I thought that
Oh,
would just be like one of a kind.
yeah.
That'd be the end of it. But Dave sort of carried on 3 years
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
and
Make it
the,
series
yeah,
10. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and that is really sort of back to basics, isn't it? I mean, all the three series, the three full series that Dave did are all back to basics type stuff.
Yeah. Again, clearly they've got no money.
Yeah,
And they've managed to build a couple of sets, and I think that's been the mother of invention. Actually, this kind of it's forced them to kind of go back to basics and do something a bit similar to
yeah,
series 1 and 2. Um, yeah, I like a lot of those episodes. I think they're quite
yeah.
good.
There's a lot of kind of
Um,
character episodes in them, where they kind of explore
yeah,
the characters a bit deeper than they did back in the day. And like you say,
yeah,
they've all come on as actors, so they
yeah.
can do that a bit better than they would have done.
There's one of those episodes, Lemons, where they go back and they meet Jesus,
Oh yes,
which I think is really good. It's a
yeah,
really good
yeah,
episode. And at the end, he says, "Oh no, I'm Jesus of Caesarea." They go, "Oh,"
yes,
and he does it throughout with the kind of is it a Yorkshire accent or a Brummie accent. He does
yeah.
he's
Is
doing
he
some kind
not
of
from? Is that actor? I'm sure he's from up here. He's from Teesside or somewhere.
Teesside. Is he a
Yeah,
Geordie accent?
yeah. Or is he a
Um,
Geordie?
uh,
I'm not sure, but he's yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah,
Well,
it's very funny.
those were all in fact all of the three series they did for Dave were just written by Doug Naylor. He
Yeah,
doesn't have anybody writing with him at this point. And I think that's probably a good idea as well because
yeah.
it stops
Well,
it
he
from
wrote and directed them, didn't he?
yeah.
So he's directing as well by this point. It's quite a workload. I'm
Yeah.
surprised, really. But yeah, it turned out surprisingly well, I think. Yeah,
Yeah. But I mean like I say it's difficult to they're good and they're all very
mm,
watchable, but it's difficult to pick out a lot of kind of individual episodes to kind of draw attention to because they're all
mm.
sort of Red Dwarf by numbers, but in a good way.
Yeah. Plus, they're less familiar, aren't they? I mean, those original
Yeah,
series that have been with us, 30 years now. I've watched them so many. I've watched them to death. There's new series. I watched them maybe 2 or 3 times,
yeah,
but they're not in my head in the same way. It's a bit like new Doctor Who. I can't I
yeah,
can't pinpoint a lot of really good moments in them.
yeah. I mean, there were a few. There were some that I didn't think were as great.
Hmm.
I wasn't a massive fan of the one where I think it's in series 11 where there are all the mechanoids. There's a huge community of mechanoids and they go on
Oh
strike
yeah,
and that sort of thing. And I just thought it was a bit. a bit much. I wasn't a massive fan of that one, but
Is that the one where they become mechanoids? Is that one? Yeah. Or is it a
is
different one?
it? Yes, I think it is. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
forget. Like you say, I'm not as familiar with these.
Yeah. I mean, there's some nice moments in all of them, really. The effects are
Yeah,
much better these days. So,
yeah,
there's that one where Rimmer's constantly photocopying himself, and there's hundreds of Rimmers.
yes,
Um, and that's quite a nice episode. And the effects of that are so sophisticated now. You just have Rimmers walking past each other and stuff like that. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Is that the same one where there's the kind of bio-printed captain of the spaceship, and
Yeah.
it's jammed? His
It's
face
jammed,
is
and he's
this
got his
weird.
eyes on the top of his
Yeah,
head. That one stands out for me. And there's also there's the one where they meet Hitler,
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah,
he has a jam with him.
yeah. And it's oh, who is it? Is it Ryan Sampson who plays him? And
Yeah,
he's really good.
he's really
Yeah,
good. And Johnny Vegas turns up in it as well. That's a good.
yeah,
There's a lot of great moments in those series.
yeah.
Again, they're not as familiar to me. I don't know.
No, that's the thing. I was when I was writing notes for this. I I was kind of thinking, yeah, I really like a lot that's in those, but I can't remember that much about the specific episodes of it, kind of
Uh,
because I've not watched them as many times,
yeah, yeah.
but they are good.
It's nice
And
that it didn't end on series 8. That we get these kind of
well, yeah, because that would have
this
been a
extended
bad
afterlife.
ending for it, for
Mm,
it to have kind of sunk so low.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, from what I understand about it, Dave were constantly kind of trying to get money to do more of them. That was always the problem with it. They were
Mm.
they were very keen to do more of them a lot of the time. Um,
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done any recently. I think that the arse has dropped out at the bottom of the TV market. I think that's the main
yeah.
problem now.
Well, they did The Promised Land, which was this feature
Yeah,
length one.
yeah,
And I like that, although
yeah. It's good. I like it. Yeah,
it the special effects on it are incredible considering on a TV budget, what they can do on a smaller budget now with special effects,
yeah. And there's lots of good stuff in it. I like all the stuff with the cats.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love all the stuff where Rimmer's fucked up his battery, so he has to carry out around his own wire and keep plugging himself in.
Yes.
It's,
Yeah,
there's some really good stuff in that one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They were close to doing some more, and then it didn't.
Yeah,
The
just
money
in
wasn't
the last
forthcoming. Yeah,
just in the last year or two, I think they were going to do some more. And then, Grant and Naylor had another legal.
yeah,
Sad, really.
yeah. And I think
Grant tried to do a TV series.
Yeah, Chris Barry had some health issues as well, which I think kind of held him back a bit, and then eventually it's just gone. And I mean, obviously Rob Grant passed away.
Passed away.
Yeah.
His novel was coming out in about a month.
Yeah,
Um,
it was strange because he's written this novel, like a prequel novel, isn't it?
yeah,
With
he tried
Andrew
to sell it as a
Marshall.
TV series.
Yeah,
Then just sadly passed away.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it should be good because Andrew Marshall's a good writer as well. But
yeah,
it was very strange because I remember seeing that book announced, and it was
mm,
literally a couple of days later that Rob
yeah,
Grant died, like very
yeah,
suddenly.
very suddenly.
Um,
Yeah,
and that's sad. So.
yeah.
I mean,
It-
we
yeah.
could see more, I suppose. And
Well, I mean, I've said all the way through this that every time the series finishes, I think must.
yeah,
So never say never.
yeah. So I think we'll leave it at that. So I'll
Okay,
say thank you, Baz, for joining me to talk about Red Dwarf.
welcome.
I was gonna say a clever ending there, but I can't think of one.
Put it in the edit.
Yeah. That was Red Dwarf. I'd like to thank Barry Williams for joining me this evening and invite all of you at home to join me again soon for another episode of the October Club. You have been listening to the October Club, hosted by Paul Ferry with special guest Barry Williams. The theme music was written and performed by Peter Faulkner. The episode was produced and edited by Paul Ferry. This was a Mosaic production.